All right. It is 6:05 p.m. According to the time traveling that I am subjected to by East Coast America. So, let's prep some Dungeons and Dragons. We're going to be working on Gothic Horror campaign some more because it's a Tuesday. That's what we've been doing on Tuesdays for quite a while now. Over 30-something sessions, I guess, we've met up and worked on building out this world. So, the time has come to revisit religions. I didn't do much with religions initially because I wanted to sort of settle on what system I was going to try and run the adventures in. I was very tempted to do World of Darkness, maybe Exalted, World of Darkness Medieval. I felt like those would be much better fits for this particular campaign, but the majority, if not all, of the stuff that I do is 5e. There's a lot of fun stuff going around with 5e that I want to try out next year, and I'm also crazy busy at my day job most of the time, and I just don't think I got the bandwidth right now to be carrying around 2 rule sets in my head at once. I'm just not that smart. So I'm gonna stick with 5e and try to make 5e work for this setting. So yeah, now that we've kind of settled in on what the setting is going to be, we can go back and revisit the religions and try to get a better sense for what we want to do with it. Now, if I recall, we had 9 different religions. So we're going to go ahead and spell religion right, maybe. All right. And here we go. Religion and death, we've got the 9 faiths. The light, blood, Lady Christine, death, strength, spirits, fealty, murder, and science. Those are the 9 faiths that we sort of penciled out. We did not get too much work done on that. Let's see. Well, actually, looking at this, we have quite a bit of religious stuff here. So, yeah, I'm gonna take all of this out of the primary document, though. And yeah, all right. And I'm gonna cut it, and I'm gonna paste it into its own document. There we go. Clean up that main document a little bit. Okay, so what are we doing here? How do we build a religion in 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons? Well, there is a book that hardly anyone has ever read. It is called The Dungeon Master's Guide. It's got our man Acerak on the cover. He's looking great. It's looking great. And at the very beginning of this book, the second thing in the Dungeon Master's Guide is Gods of Your World. The second entry in the table of contents. So we're going to go there, and we're going to see how that works out. Yeah. So here we go. The Gods of the Multiverse Appendix in the Player's Handbook presents the number of Pantheons, loose grouping of deities, not united by a single doctrine or philosophy for use in your game. Let's see. As far as the game's rules are concerned, it doesn't matter if your world has hundreds of deities or a church devoted to a single god. In rules terms, clerics choose domains, not deities. So your world can associate domains with deities in any way you choose. And this is key. This is how you get characters like Jester Lavore from Critical Role. That was basically just a warlock, but also a cleric. I mean, you reskin it to win, you know? That's the best design advice I think I ever got from anybody. And that was Mike Shea, who was Sly Flourish. He was always saying that back in 4th edition, that you reskin to win, basically. You wanted a unique, cool monster, you take a frost salamander and you turn it into a lava worm. That's what we did last night in Odyssey Prime. So, yeah. So basically what they're saying is do whatever you want, basically. So let's explore this a little bit more. Loose pantheons. Most D&D worlds have a loose pantheon of gods. A multitude of deities rule the various aspects of existence. variously cooperating with and competing against one another to administer the affairs of the universe. People gather in public shrines to worship gods of life and wisdom, or meet in hidden places to venerate gods of deception or destruction. Each deity in a pantheon has a portfolio and is responsible for advancing that portfolio. In the Greyhawk setting, Heronius is a god of valor who calls clerics and paladins to his service and encourages them to spread the ideals of honorable warfare, chivalry, and justice in society, even in the midst of his everlasting war with his brother Hextor, god of war and tyranny. Both of those are just really fun names to say and shout as you are role-playing. Greyhawk is classic old school D&D. People in most D&D worlds are polytheistic, honoring deities of their own and acknowledging pantheons of other cultures. Individuals pay homage to various gods regardless of alignment. In the Forgotten Realms, a person might propitiate? Alright, teach me, computer. Teach me this new word.
Propitiate.
Propitiate Umberlee before setting out to sea, join a communal feast to celebrate Shantae at harvest time, and pray to Malar before going hunting. Some individuals feel a calling to a particular deity service and claim that god is a patron. Particularly devoted individuals become priests by setting up a shrine and helping to staff a holy site. Much more rarely, those who feel such a calling become clerics or paladins invested with the responsibility of true divine power. Shrines and temples serve as community gathering points for religious rites and festivals. Priests at such sites relate stories. Blah, 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 blah. Cities, yeah, we know how religion works. One thing I find is interesting is that they say that everybody is polytheistic, but it's very rare to find players who are invested enough in the lore of a campaign setting to actually practice polytheism. I find that players will be like, oh, this god is the god for me, and then they're done. You know, it's like, this is my football team, and that's it. My football team, the best football team. But honestly, like, it would be really refreshing to see players so invested in the lore of a world that they, they do venerate multiple deities based on what they need at the time. That'd be very, very cool. Anyways, let's see. To quickly build a pantheon for your world, create a single god for each of the 8 domains available to clerics. Not a bad idea. Death, knowledge, life, light, nature, tempest, trickery, and war. You can invent names and personalities for deities, or borrow deities from other pantheons. This approach gives you a small pantheon that covers the most significant aspects of existence, and it's easy enough to extrapolate. Yeah, that's definitely what that word is. Other areas of life each deity controls. The god of knowledge, for example, might also be the patron of magic and prophecy, while the god of light could be the sun god and the god of time. Alright, that's good advice. Let's see if we meet all of those requirements. Do we have death? We do. Alright, do we have knowledge? We do. Alright. Do we have nature? We do. There we go. And, of course, the DM's guide was written before content bloat, so they don't realize that there's like 400 different domains now. Let's see. Tempest? Ooh. We don't have Tempest. Alright. Who would be good for Tempest? I almost feel like Light would be good for Tempest, but let's see. Blood. We have an overlap here because we also have Arcane and Knowledge for Blood. And we're probably going to forego an actual blood domain, I'm thinking. Unless there's a good blood domain in Valda's. Oh, we haven't checked out Valda's Clerics yet. That would be pretty good to see if they got anything good there. Oh, we got Tempest. It's right there with Spirits. Excellent. Alright, next up, Trickery. That's covered. Alright, and then finally, War, which a lot of them have War. 3 of them have War. They're really into War. This is a realm of conflict, so that makes sense. Alright, so we followed the Dungeon Master's Guide's advice, and we do have access to all 8 of the core domains. Alright, then they give us a sample Pantheon, the Dawn War, which is the 4th edition. Pantheon. Honestly, one of the best Pantheons. I believe it was adopted into Matt Mercer's campaign setting. It's just really good. It's got some of the all-time greats in there. You've got Bahamut, Coralon, Grumsh, Loth, Moradin, Sahananin, and Tiamat. And then, of course, you got Asmodeus in there for good measure. And then they also point out that some of these gods in the Dawn War Pantheon are also found in other things. And they talk about how early Forgotten Realms, he borrowed heavily from other things, such as the Egyptian Pantheon completely existing within Forgotten Realms. Like, the whole entire Egyptian Pantheon was a part of the Forgotten Realms for a while. Yeah. So, let's see. That means, here we go, that means that 3 gods were created for 4th edition from scratch. Ioun, Melora, and Torog. Which is interesting because the Ioun Stone existed before the Ioun the God. It's crazy. Alright, so then they talk about the different gods. They talk about symbols for the gods. So symbols might be something that we need to consider. So let's do symbols as a potential section. As far as an alignment goes, I feel like that's, I mean, you're going to know what this is about. You don't really need an alignment tag, but I suppose that could help. Other religious systems. In your campaign, you can create pantheon of gods who are closely linked in a single religion, such as, say, the 5 gods of Thylea. Monotheistic religions, where there's only a single deity. Dualistic systems centered on 2 opposing deities, like Christian mythology, essentially. Mystery cults and animistic religions revering spirits inherent in nature, or even forces of philosophies that don't center on deities. Tight pantheons. In contrast to a loose pantheon, a tight pantheon focuses on a single religion whose teachings and edicts embrace a small group of deities. Followers of a tight pantheon might favor one of its member deities over another, but they respect all the deities and honor them with sacrifices and prayer as appropriate. I feel like we're dealing with a loose pantheon for sure, because not all of these religions are even gods. Alright. Most tight pantheons have one or more aberrant gods, deities whose worship isn't sanctioned by the priest of the pantheon as a whole. These are usually evil deities and enemies of the pantheon, such as the Greek Titans. These deities have cults of their own, attracting social outcasts and villains to their worship. The Norse deities also serve as an example of a tight pantheon. Odin is the pantheon's leader and father. Deities such as Thor, Tyr, and Freya embody important aspects of Norse culture. Meanwhile, Loki and his devotees lurk in the shadows, sometimes aiding the other deities and sometimes working against them. Mystery cult is a secretive religious organization based on a ritual of initiation. Mystery cults. It's all good. Monotheism. I've seen monotheism work in campaign settings. One of the best examples of this, I found that Final Fantasy Tactics had a really great monotheistic religion. It was basically Christianity, and the game's old enough that I'm just going to spoil it for you. The final boss of the game was Jesus Christ, and you had to kill his 12 disciples. It literally was, the plot of the game was Jesus is a demon. That's Final Fantasy Tactics. It was amazing. Yeah. So, sorry to spoil that game for you. It's like 25 years old, though. Yeah. Let's see. Dualism, 2 opposing forces, animism. Animists don't typically pay allegiance to one spirit or others. Instead, they offer prayer and sacrifices to different spirits at different times. Alright, that's definitely under spirits. We've got that for sure. Forces and philosophies. Not all divine powers need to be derived from deities. I feel like, yeah, why don't we quantify what these guys are? That seems pretty good. So I'm going to say that light is a force or philosophy, for sure. Am I allowed to select those words? I'd hate to have to type them over again. There we go. Alright, and I would say that blood is more about that as well, forces and philosophies. Alright, and let's see. Lady Christine is actually a real figure, so Is this a monastic religion though, or monotheistic religion? I would say yeah. They believe she is the only true divine figure able to influence and aid the people of this world. And I mean, they're kind of not wrong. Death itself being a force or philosophy for sure. So really we're dealing with a lot of force and philosophy. Strength is more of a mystery cult, I think. Because people want to get strong, but they maybe don't want to tell you how they're getting strong. Spirits are definitely animist. Now, here's something interesting. I like the idea that maybe this fealty, maybe these Fae, this trickery and twilight, maybe they're a group of individuals. So we're going to put tight Pantheon, and it's actually a small group of Archfey. Yeah. Alright, and then we've got Murder, which kind of feels like death all over again, so I don't know if that could really hold mustard on its own. I almost feel like... Death is more like inevitability. Murder is rushing things along. So maybe we'll do like entropy and the inevitable. And controlling your passage to death. So also undeath. Okay. And then murder is the active desire for bloodshed and destruction. Yeah, that seems to work pretty good. So we could probably give them Tempest also. Though Tempest is more like bullshit weather type stuff. Yeah, we'll check out Valda's to see what extra stuff they've got in there. And then let's see. Science doesn't technically have a religion. So I wonder what we could do with that. That's obviously a force and philosophy. But I like that because the existence of clerics from this philosophy prove that gods, patrons, and other such entities are not needed. Nice. All right. So that's the ultimate, like, cool, there's gods, but we don't need them sort of religion, which is actually pretty exciting. You want to play a Godless Cleric? Here you go. Yeah, I like that quite a bit. All right, let me see if I can track down my copy of Valda's, and then we'll check that out. Because I am curious if they added any cool things to that. Hold on. Oof, alright. Very big. Okay. And let's go in there and check. We got new classes. We don't need all that. Close all these down, even though they're super cool and exciting. Alright, let's head over to new clerics. Okay. They have added 6 new domains. We've got Destruction Domain, Madness Domain, Pestilence Domain, Rum Domain, Travel Domain, and Wealth Domain. Is capitalism a god? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay, I'm pretty into this shit. So I guess this is turning into a Valda Spire of Secrets stream, because I do want to find out about these these new homebrew subclasses. I was kind of hoping blood would be in there, but oh well. Destruction, though. That sounds like it's more in line with murder than what we had before. So, Destruction Domain. Some gods revel only in the crushing of walls and the burning of cities. These gods of destruction, critical counterparts to the gods of creation and mercy, need not be evil, but have a strong tendency towards chaos and enforcing the eternal cycle of death and rebirth. Clerics who follow such deities often have deep personal connection with their chosen god. In some cases, they were spared from destruction in order to wreak it upon the world. In others, they have pleaded with the god for priesthood to destroy a single foe. Others still simply worship their god out of reverent fear. Alright, what do you get that makes you so destructive? Burning Hands, Thunder Wave, Scorching Ray, Shatter, Fireball, Protection from Energy Blight, Wall of Fire, Cloud Kill, and Cone of Cold. Well, those are some big dick spells. Wow. Okay. Let's see what else you got. Devastation Initiate. When you choose this domain at first level, you gain 2 cantrips of your choice from the wizard spell list. These cantrips count as cleric spells for you and do not count against the number of cantrips you can learn. That's pretty damn good. Your channel Divinity, Calamity. Starting at 2nd level, you could funnel the entropic energies of the universe into your spells as a bonus action. For the next minute, whenever you deal damage with a cleric spell, it is empowered with ruinous potential. For the next minute, holy shit. If you roll the highest number possible on any of the spell's damage dice, you could roll that die again and also add its damage to the total, rolling again if this number is also the highest. And are you fucking kidding me? You're wow. So your channel Divinity is for a whole minute with no concentration. For a whole minute. Hold on a second here. Hold on a second. As a bonus action, for 10 combat rounds, all spells that you use are exploding dice. Oh my god. That's crazy. That's, wow. Alright. I mean, it's super fun, but, oh my god. You could roll a number of damage dice for the spell equal to twice the number of damage dice you initially rolled. Okay, so it's not completely exploding dice, but you could potentially roll twice the dice that are allowed. So an 8d6 fireball could potentially be a 16d6 fireball. That's bananas. That's also going to be a pain in the ass to set up in Foundry, but whatever. Let's see. Shockwave. By 6th level, your devastating magic leaves only ruins behind. Once on each of your turns, when you cast a 1st level or higher cleric spell that deals fire force, lightning radiant, or thunder damage, you can emit a shockwave that crumbles the environment around one creature that takes damage from the spell. The shockwave is a 5-foot radius sphere centered on the creature that only damages objects that aren't being worn or carried. Well, that's polite. Each object in the area takes damage, follows the anime rules, I guess. Each object in the area takes damage equal to twice the damage dealt to the creature, ignoring the object's damage threshold. Hot damn. Wow, once on each of your turns, so out of combat, you are like a bulldozer. What's up, Dragon Craze? We're looking at new homebrew subclasses from Valda's Spire and seeing if any of them are a good fit for the religions that we're designing for our campaign setting. Oh my god. Alright, potent spellcasting. Sorry, 8th level, you add your wisdom modifier to the damage you deal with any cleric cantrip. That's pretty standard fare. And then level 17, which is essentially a capstone at that point. When you deal damage to a creature with a cleric spell, you can expend a spell slot as a bonus action to deal bonus radiant damage to one creature that took damage from the spell. The extra damage is 2d6 for a 1st level spell slot plus 1d6 for each spell higher than 1st level to a maximum of 5d6. That is not great. I would definitely say that this channel Divinity, if you're allowing this with multiclassing, I think most people that want to deal a shitload of damage are definitely going to come in here. Hey, what's up, Sylvie Enchantress? Yeah, I think most people that are going to come after this channel Divinity right here, because exploding dice is no joke. Oh, nice. Working on the elves for your homebrew world. Awesome. Yeah, we sort of have elves in this campaign setting. For this campaign setting, we're doing this thing called a bloodline system, where basically you just decide what your character is, and then you go grocery shopping for racial abilities from, like, a catalog, and you just sort of custom build your character, and then you gain more bloodline abilities as you level up. So Destruction Domain, it is definitely front-loaded. It is front-loaded hardcore. It's very thematic, and it looks really fun. And I keep forgetting to turn off the Nightbot. Let me write a note for myself right now, because Extra Life is over. But if you still want to donate to Extra Life, that would be great. We'll put Nightbot. All right, I won't forget. Thank you. Post-it note. All right. So let's check out the rest of these. We got Madness Domain. Your divine powers originate with the Mad God, being of paranoia, mayhem, and psychosis. Every deranged thought or uncontrolled flight of fancy empowers the Mad God, who cares little for the logic of other godly domains. That is, of course, because the Mad God is a squirrel living outside the kingdom who once told you the secret of divine power is actually to collect enough fresh boysenberries, but never to eat them, and that it helps to have a good horse at your side. And lo, the rules of reality slipped away, and you realize the wisdom of the Mad God's words. It all makes sense if you think diagonally and squint your ears the right way. Alright, I'm in. Let's see. Madness Domain. You get Hideous Laughter, Silent Image, Blindness Deafness, Detect Thoughts, Clairvoyance, Hypnotic Pattern. Oh shit. Hypnotic Pattern is a very good spell. Confusion, Hallucinatory Terrain, Dream, and Modify Memory. Starting at level 1, you learn a random, oh my goodness, a random cantrip from the wizard spell list chosen by the DM, which counts as a cleric spell for you and doesn't count against the total number of cantrips that you know. Whenever you finish a long rest, your GM can change this cantrip. Wow. I'd almost say you'd probably want to make a table for that to really go with the whole madness thing, but maybe he could base it, or they could base it on your role-playing. Lunatic Insight. At first level, whenever you make an ability check that doesn't include your proficiency bonus, your unique insight allows you to make connections which may not exist. If the d20 roll for the ability check is even, you add your proficiency bonus to the check. Alright, that's weird. So you have a 50% chance of being proficient in every skill and also your initiative. Well, that's pretty wild. Okay. Channel Divinity, Temporary Insanity. Starting at 2nd level, when you use your action to force a creature within 60 feet... you can use your action to force a creature within 60 feet to make a wisdom saving throw or fall prey to a random madness for 1 minute. Roll in the following table to determine that madness. A creature that is frenzied can repeat its saving throw whenever it takes damage, ending the effect on itself after a success. So, Aphasia. The creature can't speak, is incapable of casting... Holy shit! Or understand... Is incapable of spellcasting or understanding others. Wow. I mean, can they cast spells that don't require a verbal? I feel like they should still be able to do that, right? Delusion. The creature experiences vivid hallucinations. Whenever the creature makes an attack or targets a creature with a spell or effect, roll a d20. On an odd roll, the attack misses or the spell or effect ends. Whenever a creature attacks or targets a creature with a spell or effect, 20, the attack misses. Okay, that's weird. Frenzy. The creature becomes frenzied. A frenzied creature loses the ability to distinguish between a friend and foe regarding all creatures it can see as enemies. While frenzied, the creature chooses the target's first attacks, spells, and abilities randomly from creatures it can see within range, and must make an opportunity attack if any creature provokes one. Oh, that's pretty cool. And then Vertigo. The creature falls prone at the end of each of its turns if it's not leaning against something. Okay. Not great, but definitely thematic. I mean, some of them would straight up shut something down pretty hard, but you are having to use an action, a Channel Divinity, and they have to make a Wisdom save. And a lot of things have pretty good Wisdom saves, so let's see. Fragmented Mind. By 6th level, your damaged mind is difficult to influence. You have advantage on saving throws against being charmed or frightened, and on saving throws against any effect that would sense your emotions or read your thoughts. If you spend 10 minutes conversing with another creature, you can bestow this benefit on them for up to 1 hour as they succumb to your twisted thought patterns. Very cool. You get your wisdom bonus to cleric cantrips, and then 17th level, you drag your distorted view of the world into reality, forcing others to play by your mad rules. As an action, you can change the rules of reality in a 120-foot radius centered on a point you choose within 60 feet for 1 minute. And, oh my god, choose one of the following rules. No up, no down. Each creature and object in the area is weightless as per Levitate. Opposite day. If a creature would have advantage, they have disadvantage and vice versa. Red light, green light. No creature can move on its turn. At the start of each round of combat, each creature simultaneously chooses where to move and moves to that space. If 2 or more creatures move into the same space, they collide and are knocked prone. What the fuck? Through the looking glass. At the beginning of each creature's turn, roll any die. On an even roll, the creature doubles in size as per the enlarge effect of the enlarge reduce spell. On an odd roll, the creature halves in size as per the reduce effect of the enlarge reduce spell. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish the long rest. Wow. All right. Then we got the Nurgle Domain here. Pestilence, Bane, detect poison, blindness, deafness, protection from poison, bestow curse, remove curse, blight, confusion, contagion, insect plague. Those are all, for the most part, pretty terrible spells. Carrier, starting at first level, you're immune to disease. Additionally, you choose or randomly determine a lingering symptom that affects you. That's gross. You also have proficiency with heavy armor, because, you know, you're from Warhammer 40k, I guess. Tumor, at first... Oh my god. At first level, your body sequesters its toxins in a bulbous protrusion. When a creature within 5 feet of you hits with an attack, you can use a reaction to try to poison the creature with your tumor. Creatures must make a Constitution save throw to be poisoned for 1 minute. I feel like this is definitely thematic for our campaign setting, but it's so gross. Alright, you can give things diseases. Alright, starting at 6th level, your infectious power grows. You gain the following special abilities. Whenever you deal necrotic or radiant damage, you can change it to poison. You ignore damage resistance to poison. That's pretty cool. Your cleric spells and abilities ignore immunity to the poison condition and being diseased. Holy shit. A creature that is immune to being poisoned or diseased makes a saving throw against your effect with advantage, though. Still, that's pretty awesome. You don't get past immunity to poison damage, though, which is a little weird. Divine Strike. Let's see. Once in each of your turns, your attacks deal poison damage. Viral Infection. When using infection, the target has disadvantage. So this would be really great for, like, NPCs, but, like, as a player, unless you're playing, like, in an evil campaign, you're not really going to be going up against too much stuff that poison's going to help you against. And, like, what's the point of diseasing monsters because they die quickly? I mean, it's a cool domain, and it's it's very thematic, but I'm from Tom Carter's Discord. What are your tips for finding players as a new DM? Less than 2 months. Okay. I would, let's see, if you're just looking for players and it's not going to be like a paid game or anything like that, you're just looking for players, I would recommend choosing a short campaign. So something like Dragon Heist or Acquisitions Incorporated or Lost Mines or the Essentials Kit, Ice Dragon Peak, whatever that is. Basically, just find something that is relatively short, goes from like level 1 to 5 or level 1 to 6. Wild Beyond the Witchlight is a good one. Goes essentially to level 7. Like, you become level 8 when you finish the campaign, but it really only goes to level 7. Pick something short, and then go into your favorite online community of people that you actually get along with and that get along with each other, where there's not a lot of like fighting or like crazy political views or anything like that, and recruit from there. That is my advice. I would definitely recruit from whatever place online makes you the most comfortable and happy. I would start there, because there's a good chance that the reason you're happy in that community is because those people are cool. And you want cool people in your game, especially if you're a new DM. And just, put it out front that you're a new DM and you're looking for a group and you want to run one of these shorter adventures and, kind of take it from there. The cool thing about doing it that way is if everybody has a great time, you can always continue to play from there. So, hey, Wild Beyond the Witchlight is over. We get level 8 for finishing the campaign. What do we do now? Well, now you could run something else. You could try to do some homebrew content. There's a million amazing adventures to pick up on DM's Guild and Drive-Thru RPG. So you got a lot of options there. So, plus, I think any of those basic campaigns can also be chained into stuff like Storm King's Thunder, for example. Technically starts at level 5 or 6. So any of those newbie campaigns, you could do those and then transition into one of the higher level campaigns. Yeah, no problem. All right, let's get back to designing religions. The Rum Domain. I don't know if this would really work for our campaign setting or not. It sounds really fun though. You're basically... This would work good for Thylea though. Give the Rum Domain to Clerics of Lutheria. Let's see. Charm Person, Sleep, Calm Emotions, Hangover, Hypnotic Pattern, Slow, Confusion, Death Ward, Greater Restoration, and Modify Memory. These are all fantastic enchantment and illusion spells. Start when you choose this domain at first level. You always seem off balance, making you surprisingly difficult to hit. While you're wearing no armor or not wearing a shield, you get monk bonus, basically. And you gain proficiency with martial weapons. That's pretty cool. Cup floweth over. At first level, you can use your action to fill your mug with beer or rum, a gift of good tidings from the gods. Only you could drink this liquor, but you could suffer no ill effects from drinking any amount of alcohol. Though rosy-cheeked and slurred of speech, you are always steadfast on your feet. Additionally, you learn the legendary libation cantrip, which counts as a cleric spell for you and doesn't count against the number of cantrips you know. Sounds amazing and fun. I just don't know if it's like a good fit for ours. I mean, we could literally put it with spirits. I mean, and there's some irony there because like alcohol is spirits, spirits to spirits. Alternatively, we could put it with the Fey fealty or whatever, and do trickery, twilight, and rum essentially. Though we could call it something else because you know rum is very piratey sounding. Let's see. Your channel divinity, when a creature you can see makes an attack, you can use a reaction to cause that creature to make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the creature is poisoned, has disadvantage on saving throws for up to 1 minute. Holy shit. The target, wow. The target could repeat its saving throw at the end of each of its rounds, but of course it has disadvantage on those saving throws. That's pretty cool. I mean, Constitution's a pretty good save for most monsters, but it's still a pretty cool ability. Rum Runner, you've learned the fine art of moving when no one else is paying attention. Whenever a hostile creature moves, you can use your reaction to move up to half your speed. This movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks from the moving creature. Oh, that's pretty cool. Divine Strike, let's see. Once in each of your turns, if you hit a creature with a weapon, you can cause the attack to deal 1d8 damage of the same type as the weapon. That's also pretty cool. Non-elemental, essentially. Divine Strike. And next round's on me. At 17th level, you can call upon the gods of good times to bring your allies a round of shots. As an action, choose up to 6 friendly creatures you can see within 60 feet, and they all gain a pleasant buzz. For the next minute, you and each of these creatures have advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws. Oh wow, this is way better than Heroic Feast, and can subtract your wisdom modifier from bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage that they take. Holy shit. Wow, Rum Domain is really good, and it's not like super overpowered like Destruction. It's actually like really good and also balanced. I like that one. Alright. Travel Domain. The realm of vagabonds, merchants, and adventurers, the gods of travel are popular among those who frequent the roads or sail the seas. Travel was a big deal in 3rd edition, so it's nice to see somebody bringing travel back for this one. Alright, let's see. Travel Domain spells, Featherfall, Longstrider, Find Steed, nice, very nice. Misty Step, super nice. Fly and Haste and Dimension Door and Freedom of Movement and Passwall and Teleportation Circle? Wow, that is a very nice Cleric Domain spell list. Oh my god. Okay. I'm sure it's going to get crazier from here. Well-traveled. When you choose this domain at first level, you gain proficiency with 4 finesse or ranged weapons of your choice, and you learn 2 languages of your choice. That's kind of cool. Let's see. Uzuri, neat. Yeah, these are pretty cool ones. I feel bad for Pestilence because it definitely reeks of like, you know, the whole like Death Knight, anti-paladin kind of feel. Like it'll be great to use against your players, but might not be great to be as a player. But like travel is looking really good. Jaunt, from first level, your god hastens your feet and puts the wind at your back. You can use your bonus action to move 10 feet without provoking opportunity attacks. That is a double shift. by 3rd edition and 4th edition standards. That is amazing. You could, oh, it's limited by your wisdom modifier. Okay. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest, and it's on a long rest timer. So that's actually pretty balanced. Channel Divinity, level 2. As an action, choose up to 3 willing small or medium creatures. Okay, weird flex. Each of these creatures teleports into each other's spaces, swapping places as you choose. Awesome. That is awesome. My favorite character of all time, Chamomile. She was a taxi build in 4th edition, and that is one of the abilities that she had, actually. Was at the beginning of combat, she could make everybody just randomly change, not randomly, but she could actually rearrange the battlefield. Essentially like 5th edition scatter, but like all the time. It was awesome. That's a cool ability. Overland Expedition? Yeah. Or Expedition. Yeah. By 6th level, while traveling, you and up to 10 creatures traveling with you move with supernatural swiftness. You always travel at a fast pace and ignore delays caused by rough terrain, weather, and other non-magical hazards. You simply ignore hazards caused by traveling on other planes of existence. Well, that's really nice. Furthermore, you can travel for 12 hours instead of 8 before making constitution saves for first march. Additionally, you are unaffected by difficult terrain. I like that they added a couple of, like, good mechanical abilities in there, because they're like, I'm sure there's a lot of DMs that don't bother with any of the travel rules, so we should give them something mechanical. So being able to ignore difficult terrain in and of itself is pretty great. Also, being able to go to help 10 people ignore the hazards of other planes of existence is bananas. I mean, that's really, really good. Divine Strike. Let's see. Force damage. Wow. Okay. Very cool. Your weapons do extra force damage. And then finally, Godspeed at 17. Your walking speed doubles if you make an attack while 30 feet or further away from where you began. The extra damage of your Divine Strike increases to 4d10. So, the capstone for the domain, not that great, but overall, what a cool domain. That was really neat. All right, wealth. Being one of the most popular pursuits of humanoids the world over, it should not come as a surprise that the accumulation of material wealth is governed by its own deities. All right, let's see what we got for wealth. Identify, Unseen Servant, Arcane Lock, Locate Object, Glyph of Warding, Tongues, Fabricate, Secret Chest, Creation, and I can never pronounce that one. Gaius? I think it's Gaius. Those are good. They're not as great as some of the other spell lists, but it's pretty good. Appraisal. When you choose a domain at first level, you are blessed with insights into the price of everything. As an action, you can accurately determine the market price of any object, as well as what would be worth secondhand. Additionally, you could use your wisdom instead of charisma for any charisma check you make to buy, sell, or haggle. I definitely feel like we could probably throw wealth into science, and it would work out just fine. Leverage. Also at first level, when you cast a spell that requires material components with a specific cost, you require material components only half the value to cast the spell. That could pay huge dividends over your career, depending on how long you're going to play that character. That's pretty neat. Alright, riches. Starting at 2nd level, when you reduce a hostile creature to 0 hit points, you can use Channel Divinity. Oh no, are you telling me that you Scott Pilgrim these bitches? Alright, when you reduce a hostile creature to 0 hit points, you can use Channel Divinity to conjure an explosion of coins around the creature. The total number of coins created is equal to the monster's XP value divided by 10, rounded down. You can use this you can use this Channel Divinity option once and regain the ability to do so when you finish a long rest. That's hilarious. What the fuck? Okay. Bribe. When you reach 6th level, you can use a Divine Understanding to determine how best to bribe almost any creature. As an action, you can choose a hostile creature you can see to make a Charisma saving throw against your spell DC. If the creature fails its save, you can bribe it with rare or luxurious goods, or simply a bag of gold, which teleports into the creature's possession. The bribe costs an amount in GP equals to the creature's XP value. Oh, that could be troubling. And once complete, that creature can't be hostile to you or your allies for 24 hours. What? The effect ends early if the creature takes 80 damage from your allies. You can't bribe a creature with an intelligence of 3 or lower, or any creature the DM deems inappropriate. Well, that's a nice caveat there at the end. Potent spellcasting. At 8th level, you add Wisdom modifier to your cantrips, and then Tycoon. At 7th level, your deity showers you with vast riches. Whenever you would gain money, be it through selling goods or services, receiving gifts, conducting downtime activities, whatever, or even finding treasure in a dungeon, the amount of money you gain is doubled. Well, that's quite a capstone. By 17th level, you have basically infinite money anyways, but I definitely respect the fact that at 17th level, if you found 1,000,000 gold, you'd actually find 2,000,000 gold. That is pretty cool. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I think that's pretty fun, actually. So those are the new domains from Valda's, which is not an official book, but you know what? We're making a homebrew campaign setting, so we don't have to follow the rules. So let's go back up to where they're all listed and see what we could add. That's great. All right. College of Romance. Oh, sounds problematic. All right, here we go. So looking at our stuff here, we've got the light, which is light, order, and war. None of these seem a good fit for the light. The light is, let's put it simply, the light is Christian Crusades. Is basically what we're dealing with there. So I think light, order, and war kind of cover everything that we need there. Then for blood, blood believes in a. Blood believes that memories, knowledge, and experience define everything. Have value and can be acquired and hoarded. I think wealth could be in light. I'm almost thinking, now that I'm typing this out about blood, I almost feel like wealth kind of falls in blood. I know that we're going to more than likely have to make a blood domain, because every blood domain I see online is absolutely stupid. Just incredibly unbalanced. Yeah, blood money. That's actually a pretty good idea. All right. Wealth. Let's see. Memories, knowledge. We might not even have to call it blood. We could just call it something else. But I feel like the vampires would call this force, right? And to go all Star Wars on it. I feel like they would call a force blood, right? Because blood flows through everything. Blood's in everything. I don't know. I kind of feel like that could still work. So yeah, wealth seems pretty good there. Maybe we need a blood domain. Unsure. Lady Christine is peace and life. Anima. Oh, that's a great idea. Essence domain instead of blood. Is essence a thing? What the fuck? Hold on. When did essence become a thing? Let me see this. D&D Beyond. Is essence really a domain? Brush of living essence, essence, tether essence, essence of ether. Let's see. Sources. No. Game rules. Classes. Cleric. Give me all these. Where are these domains at? There's like a huge grocery list of all the domains. Divine domains. You can't just show me all of them? Alright. Arcana. Maybe if I zoom out and I don't have like... There we go. There's no essence domain, is there? Would we just call it essence? Oh, okay. Man, Dom, you're so wise at Dungeons & Dragons. I take everything you say literally nowadays. Alright. So, let's see. Arcana, knowledge, and wealth, blood domain. Anima sounds really good too. Anima / essence. Alright, we'll come back to that. Let's see. Which one of these is peace what they turned love into? I think peace is what they turned love into. I know that they were like toying around with calling it unity, but I think they called it peace in the end. Yeah, emboldening bond. Okay. All right. Let's go back to here. Madness. I like madness quite a bit. I wonder if we could work that into trickery and twilight. Trickery, twilight, and madness? Yeah. I don't think fealty is really what I want this to be anymore. I want this to be some kind of circle, but I don't know exactly what to call the circle. Alright. And we'll basically take a page out of the whole, like, Jester Lavore critical role thing, and, like, where they had a Fae, an Archfey that was basically had a Cleric, we could have, working together, these Fae are able to imbue people with the same strength of a god or a belief system. Could be kind of cool. So, circle of what? I guess we'll figure that out later. Oh, trickery of phase. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm thinking definitely is madness would be a good fit for that one. I like rum also. I feel like rum would be pretty good too. I mean, you can have more than 3 domains obviously per thing, but alternatively, we move madness over to spirits, and then essentially the spirits drive you mad. That could be kind of cool too, which would allow us to move rum back over to a trickery of phase. Obviously, murder is going to have destruction, which makes me so sad because destruction is absolutely broken, and I'm kind of terrified of seeing it in play. But I also kind of want to see it in play because I love exploding dice. Let's see. Travel domain. We also have this strength devil situation over here, and I'm not 100% sure what to do about that. Because that has a lot of overlay with other stuff. And I don't really see a good place for pestilence to go unless we throw it into death. But I don't know if death would really be down with pestilence. I guess it would, because pestilence speeds up the inevitable. So let's do that. Pestilence. Okay. So that's there. Madness, destruction, rum, wealth. So we just got to figure out where we're going to put travel. Let's see. Strength is kind of lacking, but I don't feel like travel's going to fit. Spirits for travel, huh? Well, we have Tempest there for spirits, and we have nature. I feel like travel would work for them, though. And science, we have forge and knowledge. I almost feel like science would also have wealth. And basically everything you do is happening like Philosopher's Stone style. Like, you're the one making money. You're the one doing all that kind of stuff. I think would be kind of cool. And yeah, I could definitely see travel fitting under there. And madness. Why don't we take Tempest out of spirits and give it to strength? There we go. Alright. That is pretty cool. So that's how we can kind of work in these new Valda's domains into what we already have, which is pretty cool, which extends that out a little bit more. Alright, rad. So let's go back to the Dungeon Master's Guide, where they're telling us how to build a campaign setting. Humanoids and the gods. When it comes to the gods, humans exhibit a far wider range of beliefs and institutions than any other races do. All that's good. Divine rank. You got greater deities, lesser deities, and quasi-deities. Quasi-deities include demigods, titans, and vestiges. Alright. So, let's go down to the notes that we previously have and see what we can do to flesh those out with the very limited amount of time that we have left this week. Alright. The light. What happens when you die? When you die serving the purpose and fighting the darkness, you were taken up into the light itself and made a mighty angel to continue the fight in stronger form in realms and even greater peril. This is merit because Justin has many angels to serve and protect him. Think Boros angels from Ravnica. According to Muslim, Jewish, and Old Testament Christianity, angels are in Old Testament Christianity, angels are horrifying aberrations. Borrow some of that flavor. Okay. Yeah, I'm down with that. So let's see. Don't know why we need Justin in here. I guess because he's listed as leader of the religion. Purpose is to destroy the darkness. What is the light? Everything good. These people receive divine strength from their own gaslighting. Pretty much. Okay. So this is what's the term we're looking for here? Scroll back up. Force or philosophy. This is a force philosophy based. There we go. Religion. It is led by a quasi being. Is that really what it's called? Quasi being? Quasi deity. There we go. Man, there's a lot of vowels in the word deity. I gotta remember that for Scrabble next time. Led by a quasi deity who is also a dreadlord. Okay. Yeah, overall, I'd say that that's pretty good, and we have a pretty good direction for that to go. So, yeah. Let's go down to vampires. So, vampires are knowledge, twilight, and we added this other stuff. We did check out the Dark Arts player companion. It did not work out for us. So, let's see. Format, text, strike through. What happens when you die? If you're a mortal servant and you die in good favor with the leader, you rise as a vampire? Maybe. If you're an immortal who dies, your mind and soul become part of the network. If you are exceptionally skilled, knowledgeable, powerful, useful, or interesting, your mind and soul may be pressed into continued service as a ghost. That's fucking amazing. Their leader is their god, so once again, we got a quasi-deity situation who is also a dreadlord. And in a way, they are sort of opposing religions as well. Let's see. She can create a network like magical internet of power, transferring power across this bloodline. Her paladins and clerics, if not vampires, still have partaken of her blood or blood from her line to access this network. Alright. The light, the way the show on Shadowbringers is very fit to your idea. Shadowbringers is the new expansion for Final Fantasy 14, yeah? I probably need to at least check out people who are playing it. I've wanted to play Final Fantasy 14 for a couple of years now, but I just never really have time to sit down and invest in it. But I just hear so many good things about it. I am very excited about eventually trying it out. Let's see. Alright, zealotry with reason, knowledge is power, blood is power. Okay. So, this religion is ritual-based and also a force philosophy, though the ritual is, in fact, a requirement to access... Let's call it the Anima Network. I mean, that sounds super anime, but it'll work. Oh, Siri, I want a couple more minutes. I don't want to stop now. Alright. The religion is ritual-based. Also, force philosophy through the ritual is, in fact, a requirement to access the Anima Network. And any divine powers therein. Oh, something else I'm excited about. Strixhaven, when it comes out, allegedly has the strongest backgrounds ever released for 5e. They are definitely setting specific, sort of like the Ravnica ones are, where you get a cantrip just for taking a background. So these backgrounds in Strixhaven actually have gameplay mechanics in them, beyond the standard stuff. So, yeah. I'm excited about that because I want to look at backgrounds having mechanical properties for this setting, and I think that that'll be a great way to do that. Essence Network sounds more cool for the network. Okay. Anima does sound like a bit overused, so... Essence Network. And any divine powers therein. Okay. Yeah, essentially with this... I guess this is kind of a cult too. When you join up and you mix your blood with the bloodline that's already there, ooh, the bloodline. That's what we could call it. We don't, what? Essence Network. Fuck that. It's literally the bloodline. Oh, perfection. All right. Let's see. I like that. Very cool, very cool, very cool. So the light is essentially opposed to the bloodline. That'll be important information to have. The light and the bloodline find themselves frequently opposed. All right. Yeah, I have a lot of ideas I've been kicking around for a Strixhaven campaign. I haven't really committed yet because I want to read the book and get a better sense for the thing. I'm not a huge Magic the Gathering nerd, so I don't know 100% what's going on. I understand that it's its own tiny world within the multiverse, and then like students come in from other worlds to attend school there, and that generally the world is like all about this one school, and then I don't know. Yeah, I'm super duper busy. Yeah, but I'm still excited enough about Strixhaven that I would like to next year run at least a very short campaign for it. All right, let's see. Constructs believe in science. No need for religions. Aberrant druids, sorcerers, warlocks. Belief system is to overcome the weakness of nature itself. Modified and scary version of Singularity. Warforged, Lord of Blades, constant blah blah blah. All right, what happens when you die? Altered carbon. Overall, I think that's pretty good. Also, we should make a note for ourselves to check out the Cycle. Which is a homebrew rule set from the same people that did Campfire, and basically it provides cool alternatives to dying, so that would be pretty neat. Let's see. The Fae have deities. Normally these deities are living gods. Right, so this is a small pantheon that works together, but also competes with each other. Imagine Norse gods, but everyone is at least 30% Loki. That's some rough shit. Hence the divided people part. All right. Then Lecanthropes, they go in for spirits. And I think anybody could go in for spirits. And so a lot of shamanism. Let's see. All right, red caps. They're definitely all about destruction and murder. We got to figure out who is Murder God and kind of take it from there. I do love the idea that there's maybe like, wait, I know who the Murder God is. Oh man. I don't know if I want to say it on stream, though. Oh, man. Wow. Man, that's awesome. Yep. All right. All right. That's going to be really cool. I can't wait till that gets revealed. Oh, man. Let's see. Death is a gift religion. So these are basically world is a prison. Death is the only escape. Suicide death cult. Also, Pestilence, if you are into that. Alright. Ideology is dangerous for all factions because it deprives them of followers, worshippers, slaves, and resources. Death cults are squashed as soon as they appear. So these are basically mystery cults. Alright. Then we got basic bitch religion. This is Lady Christine. Alright, we need a better name for this religion than Lady Christine. But essentially it's kind of a mythical Christianity type situation. Devil who is poaching. Servants of the truth, needs a catchy name. Dealer of truth. Guiding star, shining star. Wants to expose the dreadlords and weaken their hold on the people. Encourages people to find their own way and strength. Outwardly, it appears to be a religion of personal and communal strength and independence. Oh, okay. Inwardly is run by devils. What happens when you die? If you die in good faith within this religion, your soul is freed from the dread domain. Yay, and instead goes straight to hell. If you die in good faith but are OG badass, you revive and begin your transformation to a fiend. Oh, sounds fantastic. Alright. So really we reviewed the religions. We added a bit more to it. We rounded off the corners a bit. We incorporated some new ideas from Valda's. I think we need to kind of refine it a bit more. There's areas like the circle. We kind of want to touch on the spirits a little bit more. Yeah, so we just kind of need to further define these guys. So I am going to say that next week we should definitely work on these some more. I'm not going to look for any more not bloodlines. I'm not going to look for any more domains. We're just going to keep the domains that we have, which is the official raw stuff plus Valda's, and we'll make that work. If I ever happen upon a cool blood domain that is not incredibly stupid and broken, then we'll probably toss that in there just for funsies. But overall, I think this is pretty solid. Yeah. All right. In that case, we will adjourn for now, and then we'll pick this up next Tuesday, and we will start clearly defining these religions a bit more. And what we'll do for that is we'll check out the Theros guide, which is very, very well-defined religions, and we'll get a better sense for that and kind of write out some bits there so they could be put to like a little player's guide, and you would know more about the religion other than these weird bullet lists that we have. All right, fantastic. So, Extra Life, it happened. It's over. We made $6,345. I've been trying to get prizes out to everybody. I think I have all of the codes now and can start sending them out in earnest to everybody. If you make it to this weekend and you have not received an email with codes, let me know. You know, like, we're going to try our best to get all that stuff settled and move forward. This Friday, we are going to be streaming prep for the upcoming Storm King's Thunder game, which is going to start next Friday. It's a 3-part miniseries. Pretty excited for that. Level 15, 16 content, so it's going to be bananas. And also, oh, right, tomorrow, there's a good chance that we'll finally get to sit down and check out Level Up 5e and see some of the cool stuff coming out of that project. So lots of neat stuff happening. So maybe I'll see you then. Otherwise, I will see you next time.